Well, greetings again, everyone. It's me, Nick Michalak, and the lucky...
Irish?
Good old lucky Steve Frazier.
Oh, top of the morning to you.
This is his idea.
Yeah.
So
I'm very Irish, and I'm very much in love with this movie.
we're doing Leprechaun because, well, it's apparently St. Patrick's Day coming up shortly, so... You're the ones who've seen more of these films than I have.
Yeah, I have.
And,
So, whatever. It's a holiday tradition unlike any other.
We're watching from an old, crusty, outdated fucking DVD here, so hopefully things will sync up properly, because there might be different opening title screens, God knows. But whatever. It's Leprechaun. Throw it in if you have it. Get your subtitles turned on, which I don't know that I don't think this thing has subtitles.
Yeah, ours
I
does not.
That. We don't have subtitles. Hopefully you do. But get your timestamp over to 0, and we can sync up with a countdown to get going. So in 3, 2, 1, play.
Got the old Trimark. You said that with such disdain that it was my idea. I take it you didn't enjoy this movie when you watched it? Well, I like that we open right on the title character.
Yeah.
And I like that we established the legend of the gold right off the bat.
Yeah.
Because it does come into play in the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And I often forget how early this is. I mean, this came out in 93?
Yeah, 93. Apparently the writer-director had been developing since like 85.
Yeah.
And I guess my main problem with the film is that at first it was going to be like a straight horror film, but then they kind of get notes from Trimark saying, hey, maybe we'd go more comedic route, and they started shooting things that started being more comedic. And so they kind of shifted things to being horror comedy. It's like, to me, it's not funny, it's not scary. So what do I get out of this?
But it's entertaining as hell. And yes, they actually did go back and do some reshoots at the end.
Yeah. Add some more gore effects and such.
Right, to try to
Damp
make
it up a little bit more.
A little more, interesting. There we've got the title there of a young Jennifer Aniston.
Who still looks pretty fucking damn great today.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we could talk about her
yeah.
all day long, but so fun little opening, I think, of you got this drunk old guy who's clearly now a spendthrift because he thinks he's just won the lottery.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't give us a year on like there's such a great Irish trope about using first and last name, and it just tickles me that she calls her husband by his first and last name. Maybe it's because I'm Irish that I've always just found this to be a delightful film. I did not see it in the theater.
It was only the first year they got theatrical. The rest of them just dumped on video.
Yeah.
So the second one did not make any money.
The second one is a very, very bad movie. A wee person. Just a wee person. Like, the Irish are known for their, folklore and
Sure.
that kind of thing. So, Leprechauns as a legend, I guess. It makes for, I think, for just an absolutely great, like, horror movie. I don't know. I'm very excited that we're covering that. It's a very nice cast iron Dutch oven she's got there. I see your point, though, about it not really going... Like, the seesaw is right in the middle. It doesn't... There isn't a lot of one way or the other. This is a horror, this is...
Right, I mean, you look at the best horror comedies ever made, like Return of the Living Dead, and, I don't know, maybe Shaun of the Dead, and a few other things here and there. Gremlins, even.
Sure.
They've got that great mixture. There are certain things that are really scary in it. Kind of creepy, but they have such great, sharp comedy to them. This one just really kind of relies on the Leprechaun to kind of make some terrible slapstick, stereotypical humor. It just goes for the lowest common denominator jokes possible. Because everyone else in the film kind of plays it like a regular slasher film.
Right.
No one else is kind of playing it as it's a comedy. You haven't written it that way for them to portray it that way, so...
Yeah, but I feel like a leprechaun in general, like the character of a leprechaun would be jovial and playful.
Well,
Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. It's... I don't want to blow all my commentary in the first few minutes of the damn thing here.
So, here we have the great Warwick Davis. I've been, as we're recording this, I've been watching the subsequent sequels. Up until a month ago or so, I had never seen any of them.
Okay.
I had only watched this one multiple times. And I've currently made it to number 4, where they go to space, which is possibly the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. We'll come back to that. But in the anthology DVD Blu-ray set,
Sure.
As a special feature, each one of them has a
Commentary track?
no, it's a like a
multi-part documentary.
A featurette.
I was checking out what the features were on the disc set.
Yeah, there's a featurette that is between 20 and 30 minutes per film.
Okay.
A little behind the scenes, some interviews with the cast, and
Okay.
And interviews with Warwick Davis, who at this point in life, he's already been a part of the Star Wars franchise.
A lot of Lucasfilm stuff, yeah.
And Willow, which those two alone are enough to make a career.
Yeah. And the trivia on this says he was still under contract with Lucas for some reason whatsoever. I don't know, because he wasn't doing projects with them in the last, 5 years. So I don't know why he'd be under exclusive contract to do that, but Lucas gets a special mention at the end of the film because he kind of allowed him to go off and do this outside of his contract, so it's a blank spot of knowledge I don't have. Why he was under, an exclusive deal with them.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was... just maybe that was the nature of whatever contract he signed.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lucas could have been enamored with him and said, how about you make movies only for me, or something.
I mean, that's a real old Hollywood thing.
Right.
You would sign with a studio exclusively, and they'll handle everything for you, and you'll develop projects only with them. You do that a lot more with producers today, but way back in the olden days, it was like you sign a star and they are the studio star.
Right. Well, anymore, now you sign a deal with Netflix.
Right.
And Netflix says, all right, you're married to me.
Yeah.
Like David Fincher.
Yeah.
Or whoever.
Yeah, like
Adam Sandler.
Usually, like the producers, the executive producers of something, or filmmakers exclusively will sign that like 3-4 picture deal or something like that.
Right.
Or we'll set up shop with your studio and we'll develop projects there for 5 years or something.
And I'm not sure if Warwick Davis knew that, this particular film was going to
launch him anywhere.
Right. Like it was even going to be anything.
Right.
But and you could even argue like maybe he wouldn't want to give in to the stereotype. I don't know. I've not.
What I read is like he was at least happy to kind of like do something against the type because he's always playing a hero of some kind in all the films he's done before.
Okay.
This is play something different for him.
I like it.
Apparently, he didn't care for the 3 hours of makeup he had to sit through every day.
Okay, so this makeup is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
This my best friend and I, who I've been watching them with, recently, were talking, and to our knowledge, Warwick Davis has never done the convention thing.
Okay. I'm curious.
And like even like at all.
Okay.
So now, just on the Star Wars lore, I feel like, he could rake in tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Now, you add, so then Willow, which has its own, like, psychotic...
Subset.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you've got this, which I think is one of, like, I think that the Leprechaun aesthetic and makeup and costuming is one of the best in, like, this genre ever.
Yeah, I'll agree.
And we were saying, if he were to, in this age of photo ops, do a photo op,
In
like,
full makeup
in costume,
and everything, yeah.
like, we'd both be willing to pay 3 figures for that. Like,
Under $150 a head or something.
He would make so much money.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So, I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't need it. Now, fast forward even, a decade after this, and now he's in the Harry Potter movies.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Because I never seen them.
So, oh my God. Is she not a 10?
Oh, yeah.
Then and now.
Yeah.
And I believe that the man is supposed to be her father, right?
I believe so.
Yeah,
It felt right. He's not in much of the movie after the first couple minutes here. I was looking at the guy. He kind of looks like Chris Sarandon looks now.
Yeah.
The salt and pepper with the beard and everything.
Yeah, he's Sarandon-esque.
Yeah.
So yeah, now he's in the Harry Potter movies.
Okay.
So he's now a part of, we'll say, if you take Willow as a solo project, he's got 3 major franchises, of which this one is the least.
Yeah.
Even though it's the best looking, or most identifiable, I think, but...
Probably more specifically associated with him. Because he's a continuing, repeating star of the whole thing.
So, I very much... He's on my, like, Mount Rushmore wish list of convention meeting people. Mm-hmm. You're right, though. With 3 hours of makeup, it'd be virtually impossible for him to do that at a convention.
Yeah, I mean, even Robert Englund hasn't done that.
Correct.
Like when Tony Todd does his Candyman, I think he just puts on like this torso thing with the jacket and like
right.
It probably takes him like an hour to throw the outfit on because there's not really facial makeup to do anything.
Right. It's a hell of a belt buckle there.
Oh yeah.
He kind of looks like Fred Ward a little bit.
A tad, yeah, a little taller.
Well, But in this era,
he could be like his cousin.
Yeah, that's Ted Ward. Now, do tarantulas usually like live in the house like that? I don't know.
The damnedest clue.
Tarantulas are awesome. I'm thinking about getting one. They're very docile and they're not aggressive.
Okay.
And their bite is apparently more akin to a bee sting than it is other spiders. So, look at this flip phone.
Yeah.
For 1993,
That's advanced.
This is quite advanced.
Here's our Kevin Bacon wannabe, his cousin.
Yep. Yeah, this is...
Stephen Bacon.
Right. There's somebody else that he looks like, too, that I can't quite put my finger on. Oh, she's just pulling out 50s like they're nothing. I like that. Kind of... They've really set up her character here as being...
Like, not rustic in the least.
Right, and I have enough money to just kind of buy my way out of whatever situation I'm in.
Yeah.
We were trying to decide if this was like the set here.
Yeah.
There's parts of it that feel like a set, and part of it that feels like it's like somewhere out in the wilderness.
Lived in place you just licensed or whatever.
Right.
Got a contract to use.
Right, but there's times when you're like, kind of like in Scream, when they were making the movie and they rebuilt the house.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, oh, you're like, I'm on the set, but it isn't.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I gotcha.
So it feels like that. Like, because clearly this is really outside somewhere. Now we got the star of the show. I don't remember this guy's name, but at this point, he really only had one claim to fame, ever, and that was being Francis in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Okay. He's Aussie here, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Mark Holton.
Holton, that's right.
The other kid seemed really familiar to me, but he was like in one episode of something that I didn't even remember much about watching.
Yeah,
so,
he really doesn't have a resume.
No.
And he didn't do much after this either.
No.
But old Francis there...
Yeah, it was like an episode of Quantum Leap that I probably watched maybe twice ever.
Oh, yeah, and you wouldn't even be able to pick him out. Were you a Pee-wee kid?
I was, yeah.
I have a very distinct memory of the night that we rented Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Okay.
The first time, and I needed convincing, and my mother insisted that I was going to enjoy it. And maybe it was her boyfriend at the time, I don't know. But I watched it, and I did, in fact, love it. Although, there were parts of it that were scary to me.
Large Marge.
Large Marge. Yeah, but, I mean, even like...
When the face changes and everything.
Yeah, there's definitely some elements.
When you're 7 years old, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I might have been 6. I think it came out in 85.
Okay.
So, on video...
They recorded off of, like, HBO.
Okay. I never got this trend of the applique on the jean shorts. Oh, she dropped a Snapple.
I was going to say, I mean, her wardrobe is distinctly 1993 here.
Yeah. Well, the little
Even
blue...
more so later on.
The little blue sundress was nice.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't really...
When she gets more into the mall fashion.
Right. That's not weird or strange. You're right. The writing is very cheesy.
Yeah. Thing was, I didn't have any problem with like the regular characters in the whole thing. It's just what they do with the Leprechaun itself just didn't do anything for me. I mean, the design of it does elicit creepiness when you have it in the right light and stuff like that.
Right.
You can get some moments there, but I don't know. It's got problems for me.
I'm very curious to know what the plan is for the paint on this home.
Yeah. What's going on here? Are you painting it like Pee-wee's Playhouse?
I don't know. I mean, like, I get that, he's maybe not mentally all there.
Sure, he's
but
a little deficient.
But it's not like the old pick and paint where you just get to grab your statue and doll it up however you want.
Sure.
I think this is somebody's house.
Right.
That apparently hasn't been walked through in 30 years because of these cobwebs. I've always kind of enjoyed this, I don't know if it's a trope or not, but this combination of mentally deficient adult and overly capable youngster that accompanies him.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even think of other examples off the top of my head, but I know that they exist.
Yeah.
And I feel like it always works. I don't know why. I wish he had 2 different color shoes on. That would really make my day.
Well, the kid's got 2 different color laces on.
Well, okay. But for the kid, that's cool.
Yeah.
For him, it's because he's an idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that weird how that works?
Right.
There's a minor... Uh-oh. There went the lock and key right there. There's a minor detail that I really feel like annoys me more than it should. And we can get to it when it happens.
Sure.
But it involves his magical abilities.
Okay, doke.
Yum. Oh, it's only been 10 years. Okay. I've always been fascinated by Warwick Davis's legs.
Okay.
And how skinny they are. Not to say that, dwarfs are usually pudgy, but he's got, like, very, very thin legs.
Okay.
And maybe it's just off-putting for the character. I don't know. We looked it up just last night. We looked it up, and now I don't recall his height. And I want to say that he's like 3'8". 3'6".
Okay.
So he's 42 inches tall.
Okay.
That is very small. I do love that the mentally deficient man is the one who first sees the leprechaun. which then makes it completely believable that nobody believes him.
Right.
How did that blue paint get in that specific spot there?
Yeah, it's little.
Like, I don't understand these marks.
Right.
Her either.
Yeah.
Like, the production team was like, let me just paint on you a little bit.
Be more splatters instead of
brush strokes.
Yeah.
That red and yellow is off-putting. But very 90s colorful.
Yeah.
I like this purple shirt. I mean, just look at the color blocking that's going on here. It's like, it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna kill every one of us is a great line. I didn't catch what was on the kid's hat.
It was San Francisco Giants.
Oh, 49ers, I think.
49ers, yeah.
You're right. That was a weird continuity thing. He just took his hat off again. I don't think I've ever noticed that before. I mentioned the hat, and because he had taken it off his head, and then when they cut back, he took it off his head again. So, rats. I don't mind a rat. I mean, in my home, I probably would. But,
Yes,
but in the wild, walking down the streets of Chicago or whatever, and you see them, and you're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
I heard recently that the city of Chicago overtook New York as the #1 most rat-infested city.
Oh, yippee. You can put that on the freaking pamphlet.
Oh, look at that rainbow. He is so great. Holton. Francis. I feel like, obviously the rainbow seems to be a digital effect of some kind.
Yeah, something in post.
Like, that looks better.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't they make it bright in the sky? Like, it was very faded. Weird.
Sure, it probably looks better on the HD transfer.
Maybe. I'm just saying, if you're going to go cheesy and go all out,
right.
like, go...
Make it sparkly and
right,
everything.
Right. It's got flat tires.
Yeah.
This truck's been around longer than O'Grady's been gone. I wonder what the going rate of gold.
Oh, that's a fluctuation in and of itself.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I can look up historical gold data.
Offshoot of our inflation calculator.
Well, right, because then I can figure out what that was actually worth.
Cross-reference and interlink systems here.
Right. Let's see if my friends at Google are able to tell me. Okay. Average closing price in 1993 was $360.
For how much gold?
I assume that's an ounce.
Okay.
And yeah, troy ounce. I don't know what the difference is, but a troy ounce of gold is 360. Which I'm gonna guess. I don't know if is one coin an ounce.
Ooh.
Like,
I know it's a soft metal. I don't know quite what a weight of it is in that regard.
Dear Google.
That size.
how much gold is in one coin? I'm asking Google.
According to U.S. Mint, weight and diameter differs between the 1/2, quarter, and 10th ounce sizes.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, no, it's not telling me anything.
No. I did look up the fact that because you ingest the gold coins, like, no, ingesting gold would not cause any undue side effects to you.
Oh.
You wouldn't be able to absorb it, but it would pass through your system. In fact, he was able to swallow the gold coin whole. I don't know how he didn't start choking on it. This film doesn't take things that seriously, though.
No, it doesn't. Alright, so based on my general what color are you painting this home?
It's very patriotic.
Yes, I like it. So, it's generally accepted that a gold coin is 1 ounce.
Okay.
So, the current value is somewhere in the neighborhood of $2,000 an ounce.
Okay.
So, back then, it was $360.
Okay.
Which means that he has 100 coins. So, it's only $36,000 worth of gold. Now,
it's not enough to say you're rich.
Well, I don't know.
Even at 1990 standards.
Now,
That's like a trust fund or something.
Right. So, now we can get out the inflation calculator.
Mm-hmm.
And we can say that $36,000 in 1993 is worth $74,000 today. So it's a really good chunk of change.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't call it
getting limos and a chauffeur type of deal.
I wouldn't call it a fortune.
No, that's not a fortune.
Now, interestingly, if we get out the regular calculator, and I'm sure I could do this without it, but just to make sure.
Sure.
$2,000 per coin times 100 coins is $200,000 today. So the value of gold has gone up, making his pot of gold much more lucrative.
You gotta get the interest going,
Right.
stuff like that. You gotta,
Right.
No one to catch it in right, man.
Three Guys That Paint is a fantastic name for a business, in my opinion.
Who's the third guy?
Well, it's...
You only never see two of them.
Well, no, the kid is the third one.
Well, then who?
It's those three.
Oh,
Kevin Bacon,
okay.
Francis, and the kid.
It just seems so disconnected in personality and character types.
Right.
They don't
That's
seem
why
like
it's
they
so
work
great.
together.
It's so great.
I just view him as the new boyfriend. That's all I keep looking at.
Love the tricycle. Damn it, that's great. You sighing means you disagree, but that's fine.
Eh.
While I was calculating, Oh, wait. He did not swallow it, right?
No, he did.
He did.
Yeah.
But this is a different one that they're taking over.
I guess so.
Okay. Right, because they have the whole...
They're trying to get it appraised or something.
Right, they have the whole batch, right? The whole... Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out what it's worth.
Yeah.
Let's find out what they think. 500.
Historical value, he's saying.
Right.
Because of markings on it and stuff.
So $500 as opposed to $300 does make a difference because, now it's probably $100,000 in...
Modern...
In modern dollars, yeah. Unless you factor in the historical value, which, the Leprechaun being hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that sort of thing can change from appraiser to appraiser.
This guy doesn't look like a reputable source to me, but...
He's not on frickin' Madison Avenue or some shit.
Well, no, because they're in the goddamn woods.
Mm-hmm. Got a book of lore.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah.
He's able to just turn right to the page. Why wouldn't he do this while they're there? Like, if it's that easy, why does he need to keep it overnight?
Right.
I've always been bothered by this shop. Like, what do you sell? Like, I feel like it's a poorly dressed set.
Yeah, this feels like a set. They just slapped a couple of things randomly together they got from a fucking store down the road.
Right, but it's not like a store, and it's not like
a storefront. It feels like a...
And it's not a pawn shop feel.
No.
It's like...
Almost feels like they redressed the freaking hotel room.
Right, yeah. And that's fine, but I'm just curious what look are you going for? Because they didn't pull off any of them. Those curtains are god-awful.
National Geographic.
A lot of them.
You get $30 at half-price books for them now.
Maybe. Maybe for all of those.
Yes.
Maybe.
That's what I was saying. The entire stack.
He really jiggled that around. That's not how locks work.
Hmm.
And there he is. Our little buddy.
Hmm.
Now, he had the coin. He could have asked for a wish, right? Isn't that the rule?
I didn't catch that part of the lore.
It definitely becomes part of the lore later on.
No.
This thing here on the this is a great shot.
That's definitely someone else doing that from the rear shot.
Yeah.
There's a couple points where you can tell.
I love the idea. I don't think it was very well executed.
No.
But I do love the idea.
Mm.
There is also the lore about the shoes, because he's like a cobbler or something.
Yeah.
And loves and appreciates and
Yeah.
cleans shoes.
Yeah.
Like, why does this guy have this thing?
Yeah.
Oh, the famous Saugus Cafe. So, the famous Saugus Cafe is a real place. It is in Santa Clarita, California.
Okay.
Which makes sense, because that's
Yeah.
probably whereabouts.
Yeah, I figured it was somewhere outside of Los Angeles they were shooting.
Yeah, Saugus Cafe.
I think Santa Clarita, that was the same place they were shooting Lost Boys. That sounds familiar.
That could be.
I think that was... They had to change the name because they just were a little skittish on the whole scenario.
Cop eating a donut. Love it. I love that he has to throw on the lights and cherries, or noise and cherries, because there's this illegal vehicle driving down the 405 or wherever they're at. Hilarious. This is hilarious. Which I love. I know you didn't care for the back and forth, or you wanted them to pick a lane. I love that there's 2 lanes.
Well, just the fact I don't feel like they hit either lane very well.
Oh, well, okay. That.
You want me to be both frightened but also laugh.
Entertained, right.
You're trying to both elicit laughs but also terror from the same character, and it doesn't... Neither one of them works for me. Because the humor is too silly and stupid for me.
So does it...
It's far too, like, 4-year-old freaking humor to me. It's not smart humor. You're just doing the least amount of effort to elicit any sort of ounce of freaking laughter from anyone. You're not putting any effort in to create something that's clever.
That looks good.
Humor needs to be clever to really get something out of it. All you do is like, okay, well, it's a leprechaun. What jokes can we make about a leprechaun? Oh, now he's actually the size of a child, so what would a child do? Or something like that. Just like, there's nothing inspired about it. It's just... There's just nothing there.
Right. This scene here is one that they added in later on. They felt like there wasn't enough horror element. So, I think it was supposed to just end on the highway. And then they added in this whole chase through the woods and...
Double check something there. I swear. There was...
So, as I was saying about the sequels, 2 is...
That's right.
2 is just not a good movie at all.
Yes. That's when we were watching the scene originally. It's like, this kind of looks a little bit like Friday the 13th Part 6, a little bit.
Okay.
And I looked up the cinematographer. He shot Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation.
Oh. Ugh.
His name is Levi Isaacs.
So, 2 being a really, really bad movie. Talk about not having funny or horror. Like, it's neither one. Then...
The third one goes to Vegas.
The third one, I would... Not to say that I want to do a commentary on it, but I would like to challenge you to watch it, because 3 is easily my favorite of them. And, according to the documentary, it is also Warwick Davis's favorite.
Okay.
It is full-on comedy, and it is hilarious.
That's the impression I would get. If you're going to go like Vegas, glitzy, glamour, lean into the luck versus unlucky type of things, gambling, go for it. Go full bore right into the whole thing.
It is tremendous. I cannot put over Leprechaun 3 enough. There's the great... oh, damn it. What's her name? Stretch. From Chainsaw 2. Caroline Williams. Yep, she's in it. She's awesome. There's a great little dorky main character who is unassuming and like a really bad actor who has gone on to be an Oscar-nominated screenwriter.
Right.
He lost to Quentin Tarantino.
Well, most people would.
Well, Tarantino's only won once, and he won for the wrong movie, unfortunately.
Which one was that?
He won for Django. And...
Oh, you know, Jackie Brown's my love.
Well,
That's the one
Jackie Brown is a 10 and a half.
Yeah.
I don't know what really the motivation was here other than revenge.
It does feel like entirely like tacked on scene. There's no purpose to it whatsoever. It's just to kind of up the gore quotient.
Correct.
Give them something to do before whatever happens back at the ranch.
Right. Yeah, Meatloaf looks great. I shouldn't be watching this when I'm hungry. The kind of the premise of the movie is that he wants his gold.
Yeah.
And so you would think that the cop storyline wouldn't really exist.
Right.
Other than, he pulled him over and tried to arrest him or whatever.
Right. Based on a silly gag thing that's not funny.
Well, it might not be funny, but I thought it was entertaining. I'm very entertained by this movie. I don't think it's good, but I think it's fun and lighthearted and I don't know.
I mean, like I said, I like all these characters. They're very well done characters. The fact that I'm not getting... There's not enough threat from the Leprechaun to maintain a certain terror about the character. Because he's also cracking jokes every so often. They're not very funny jokes. They're very cheap jokes. And playing into silly Leprechaun lore, stereotypes, Lucky Charms crap.
So I take umbrage a little bit with the him seeing the Lucky Charms now.
Yeah.
Because clearly the kill shot of this movie, literally and figuratively, later on, that has the line Lucky Charms in it, would have been 10 times more effective had he not
come across the
box here.
Yeah.
I completely agree with this assessment. That is $1 million look.
Yeah. I think my other problem is okay, the makeup is fantastic, but the outfit is too cartoony to me. Would have liked a little bit more of kind of a nightmarish version of the outfit somehow.
I like it.
I know, and everything's just too much. You're trying to do both things at the same time, and they're not compatible. They're not eliciting anything from me.
You're not Irish enough.
I've got half of Europe in me.
Yeah, well.
There's English, there's German, there's Irish. My dad's all the way Polish. His entire side. I did a family tree back in high school or something. He was 100% Polish on my mom's side, and it's all the half of Europe.
Yeah, just a mutt.
Something along those lines.
I love that he curated the shoes.
Yeah.
Those two have such a beautiful dynamic.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily believe that the four of them have this many shoes.
Mm.
Then again, it's been 10 years since the O'Grady's lived there, and nobody's cleaned up their kitchen.
Yeah.
So maybe some of them are O'Grady shoes.
Stuffed in a closet somewhere.
Right. Yeah, because at this point, they've never seen the Leprechaun yet.
The rest of them have not, no.
Only him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was reading things up. There's like all kinds of mixed messages about whether or not Aniston really kind of cops to the film, whatnot. Because there's this bizarre freaking thing. This bizarre interview on YouTube. It's clearly from something probably like 20 years ago or whatnot. It's all like 4x3 video, like VHS or something like that. But it was an interview she did talking about the film, but it's something about like some Illuminati random nonsense. Like, where the fuck has this come from?
Weird.
Like someone making a documentary saying like some kind of Illuminati conspiracy thing to suppress like other cultures or some bizarre stuff. Look it up. Look it up. It's going to be like the third or fourth thing on the results or whatnot. It was bizarre. But her actually talking about the film, probably about, I don't know, 2000 something or another. A more recent thing from Warwick Davis on some kind of like panel TV show thing, seeing that she doesn't really cop to the film and stuff like that. She denies it or something like that. So I'm not entirely sure where she lands. I like what damage does it do to her career at this point in time.
Right. I feel like I don't remember very well because I've been watching all of them.
Yeah.
I don't remember the details, but I want to say that was addressed in the little documentary
Sure.
after this on the
Disc.
on the disc, yeah, on the full legacy package.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess my understanding was that, you know, she doesn't necessarily like brag about it, but there is a nostalgic charm and, you know,
Sure.
kind of a like, oh yeah, that, you know, like it's weird because I've heard that, you know, like Johnny Depp kind of divorces himself from Nightmare as well.
Well, he's also kind of a quirky individual
Right.
too. So
Right. Which, not to say that either of these movies are the reason that either of those became stars.
Sure, but they were at least
stepping stone.
They got
Right.
them their faces out there to kind of have at least something to build off of.
Now,
But the fact, like, Friends starts like maybe a year and a half after this gets released, so
well, but it
didn't take her a whole long to catch on with something.
this was filmed like
About 2 years prior.
I was going to say several. I think it was even
But-
3, maybe.
I think they shot like from October 90 to like January 91 or something like that.
So it was a couple years.
It was like at least a year. I think it was maybe about close to a year and a half before they actually put it out. Yeah. A little context with Trimark is that they did some
Ow.
stuff. They did a number of things theatrical, but most of their stuff was kind of pushed more towards the direct-to-video market for much more lower budget sort of dramas, action stuff. They did like the Warlock films and Return of the Living Dead 3 and a couple other things here and there. So they were never a big player. So they were always toying around with, in the 90s and whatnot, with this level of stuff. And then eventually got merged with Lionsgate around 2000.
You could totally tell the stunt person is like so much taller.
Yeah.
That person is so much
check
taller.
the legs, yeah. There's another shot coming up where he comes back in the... Yeah. That's definitely not Warwick.
Now, when we were talking about Johnny Depp and Aniston comparison, I don't know why Johnny Depp would necessarily... I don't think he actively avoids nightmare talk, but...
Probably more
I know
today than it was back in the 90s, because he had
right.
the cameo in Freddy's Dead.
Right. I think he just, you know, is above it in his own mind. In his own mind.
Yeah, I mean, Golden Globe nominated guy from Pirates and all a bunch of other stuff.
Oscar
and
nominated as
he's
well.
got that band with Alice Cooper and Joe Perry.
Yep. I just think, like, why Nightmare on Elm Street is such an iconic thing.
Very respected, yeah.
Right. Like, I feel like it would be more likely for Warwick Davis to divorce himself from this.
Yeah.
Even though he openly embraces the idea of, oh, you want to pay me again? Okay,
Sure.
let's make another one.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't care.
Well, he only did the first 6, and then they did did this stupid fucking reboot one with Hornswoggle in the lead.
That's correct.
And then they did yet another one, which I read up. It seems like it's like another one of those sequel only to the original thing because it picks up from
where this one left off.
Stuck in the Well, but it's not him. He didn't come back for anyone after the two Hood ones,
which are next on my watch list. I am very excited about Leprechaun in the Hood.
I like Ice-T.
Leprechaun in the Hood, to me, and I've at this, as we record this, I've not seen it.
Yeah.
But it likely will compete with Vegas because they're, I don't know, it's an atmosphere. It's it's a new terrain.
Sure.
That isn't space.
Yes. God fucking damn.
Space is bad.
Didn't work for Hellraiser, didn't work for Jason. Ain't gonna work for fucking
Didn't work for the Muppets. Muppets in Space is a terrible movie. Although I did get kind of emotional at the end when Gonzo met his real dad or whatever. God, I love the Muppets. What is that device stuck to the wall? So, like, they're still denying it? Even though they literally just beat it to death?
Yeah.
When you were talking about the sequel directly after this,
sure,
Still in the Well, that may be the first one that ever has continuity with the ending of the previous one. It's almost anthological, where he just, like, they kill him at the end of every movie.
Sure.
And then at the beginning of the next one, he's just there.
Yeah. And
it's awesome.
Sounds like those Children of the Corn films.
Yes.
You create some big cliffhanger ending. It's like, forget about that. Never happened.
If you're listening to this and you've not listened to our Children of the Corn episode, the movie is not great.
No.
It's average at best.
I've heard the brand new one is dreadful.
But I will say that it is, in the over 150 commentaries we've done, it's one that stands out in my mind.
Yeah.
Because
very analytical on the screenplay level.
Right. We really broke down adaptations and how to write a screenplay. And so it's one that I often recommend. So if you're listening to this one and you've not listened to Children of the Corn, even if you don't watch the movie, just turn it on and because it's a really good discussion. And I kind of want to watch the new one just because.
I heard it's so.
I think it's streaming on something, so I can watch it at home. I don't have to pay for it.
I just heard one person say it was just one of the worst things they've seen. Basically, what I heard is like the first scene of the original where they're taking over the town. That's the entire film. They stretch the whole thing out for 90 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah. And there's like 12 of these movies.
Yeah, I think this is the 12th one. The 11th or 12th. Which, they've done half of that with this. That looks like a stunt person.
Yeah.
The old cigarette lighter thing. That's been used a whole bunch. Right in the know. I love it. Love it. He is so great. I love Warwick Davis. I posed a question to my best friend as we were watching this a month or so ago. And I said, as far as little people careers go, would you rather be Warwick Davis or Peter Dinklage? And we actually, now I guess I'll pose this to our listeners. And
sure, you can go for it.
You can vote now in the poll. Kind of a whose career would you want?
Sure.
So, interestingly, Randy picked Warwick Davis.
Okay.
And I picked Peter Dinklage. And we've talked about this multiple times since I brought it up.
Sure.
And for me, well, ultimately the argument kind of comes down to quality over quantity.
Right. I mean,
so Warwick Davis is part of 3 major franchises and 1 beloved movie, Willow.
yeah, with a new series that
Right,
got
and which
divisive reactions.
But he's part of that as well.
Yes,
so,
yes, he's the main character. I mean, I think he is Willow.
Okay,
so.
well, there you go.
It's named after him.
So, there goes the hand.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's a fine effect.
So, but he's also mostly hidden behind
Masks and stuff.
right?
Yeah.
But he's part of these billion-dollar franchises.
yeah.
On the other hand, Peter Dinklage, who is an actor,
Yeah, he
And-
transcends everything.
right, and he's always
It's incredible.
he's always in, he's himself. He doesn't play masked characters
Right.
usually. And I have such a distinct memory of the night that Peter Dinklage won his first Emmy. And he's standing on the stage and he's holding his Emmy. And I'm thinking to myself, are Emmys that big or is he that small? Because comparatively, he was like 4 times the size of the Emmy. But he's a taller dwarf. He's like over 4 feet.
Sure.
So, anyway, so he's got these. Now he's part of Game of Thrones and whatever, but he's also been in these like very well received dramatic roles.
Yeah, I first saw him. He had a recurring role in Nip Tuck back in like 08, 09 or something like that. He was in X-Men Days of Future Past, and just like they cast him because he was a fantastic actor. They didn't want to. They make absolutely like almost no mention that he is a person with that size or whatnot, that condition. He was just cast because he's a fantastic actor at that.
Absolutely.
Pivotal role.
The first time I ever saw him was in a little movie called The Station Agent.
Okay.
And it was nominated for Oscars. I don't remember exactly which. Maybe screenplay, something like that.
Sure.
Great movie. It's a drama. And then, obviously, Game of Thrones I watched, and he's brilliant on that. He had that role in Elf, where, he owned that scene, or 2, whatever it was. I know we're kind of glossing over what's happening here, but...
you're familiar with Tony Cox?
Well, absolutely.
He's a stunt guy on this one.
Tony Cox in possibly the greatest Christmas movie of all time, Bad Santa.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to say I did see that he was one of the actors.
We always want to check our stunt performers to see if there's a Morga, Warlock,
Right.
whomever.
Tony Caesar. Yeah. Morga, Warlock, Caesar, and those are the top 3. Right?
Yeah. Maybe a hotter, maybe whoever.
Don't forget about the one he swallowed.
Yeah.
It's funny, we were joking by the 4th movie, which the 4th one in space really has... It takes over an hour before there's even the first mention of gold, which is stupid.
We distracted ourselves for too long.
So...
Right in the script.
Like, in the 3rd one, we were laughing, because we're like, this dude needs a better vessel for his gold, because he keeps dropping it and losing it.
He's a fucking deadbolt or something on it.
Right, like...
Padlock.
Don't put it in an open cauldron, you idiot.
Yeah.
Although it magically appeared in a brown bag in this one.
Yeah.
Except for in that opening scene when he's on the staircase.
Mm-hmm. Wearing some LA gear. Sneakers.
Yeah, that's 90s if there ever was one.
Mm-hmm.
What's with this green light? Where's that green light coming from?
Look at the Irish. My one bad Irish impression for you.
I can do Irish all day long.
Ah.
I wish I could do Scottish better, because Scottish is my favorite.
It's a little thicker. You gotta get up. You gotta call up Alan Cumming.
Alan Cumming is a delight.
Oh.
Like, why is there a green light? Like, it's so obviously a green light. Where is it coming from?
It's kind of a nice
Yeah, that's...
little thing.
Oh, you can see the
That's all
string.
that, yeah. You tried to paint it out, but it kind of made it more obvious.
God, he is so good. And I know he just had a blast playing
Yeah.
this. He is such a delight. Well, I guess I'll pose the question to you.
Okay.
Who are you taking? Whose career are you taking? Who are you going to be?
I'm trying to choose Dinklage.
I also chose Dink.
Just because the guy just blows me away.
I would like to be an award
sit
winner.
for 3 hours in a makeup chair.
That wouldn't bother me to have iconic character status.
At least with the Ewok, you just put on the freaking suit or whatnot. You may paint some black around the eyes. You're done.
I think this is worth it. I really do.
I don't know. I think I just get too fidgety.
Much like Fred Krueger is worth it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Is there another one that I'm forgetting that is like major horror makeup prosthetics like this?
Pinhead?
Okay. But I would argue Pinhead being below these two, him and Fred Krueger. I mean, it's a great look.
Yeah.
It is a great look. But
The last
I'm not even
multitude
talking.
of sequels and Hellraiser have not done it any favors.
I'm not really talking about quality of movie. I'm just the aesthetic.
Okay.
But you're right, as far as legacy goes. I mean,
Yeah, it's not as much with Jason. Obviously, Michael gets nothing on that regard. Leatherface, another just mask you slip on. You get more back to the Frankensteins of the Wolfman stuff.
right. You know, Scream is a mask.
Yeah.
Art the Clown has some makeup, but it's not elaborate in any
Yeah.
way.
Tony Todd, got to swallow some bees.
Well, that's some shit. Absolutely.
He got paid like an extra, I don't know, a couple $100 or $1,000 for every bee sting. He made some major bank on that.
That's a hell of a clause to put in your contract.
Yeah.
Those jeans are
Yeah.
so painted on.
Yeah.
Like, I started questioning whether they actually were jeans.
Did not just trimmed them and hemmed them.
That looks like a dummy.
Yeah, maybe.
What a band of characters this is. It's so great. Since we're likely not going to cover 3, there was a great little moment. There's scenes. Now, granted, they they did film most of it in the in an abandoned hotel.
Okay.
It's the one where Bobby Kennedy was killed, and also where like the very first Oscar banquet was held.
Okay.
So like it's a famous place, but by 1995 it had been closed, and folks have been using the interior as a movie set.
Okay.
And so they built their casino hotel inside of there.
Okay.
Now, were you going to say something?
I was going to say that brings up the fact that I think this ranch was used on like Little House on the Prairie, the Waltons.
Oh, really?
That's what I read on Wikipedia. Take that for what it's worth. But I'm sure they can be verified.
Huh. So maybe it is like a backlot ranch.
Maybe. Yeah.
Anyway, so there are a few scenes in 3 where they actually film like on the streets of Las Vegas.
No, you know,
with
Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah, with their
in Times Square for an evening.
Yes, with various locations that don't always add up if you know the geography, but that's fine. And they did it very Rogue style.
Oh yeah, sure. No permit.
He tells this story that when he got dressed basically for the movie,
sure,
in his hotel room.
Sure, yeah.
They basically did all of the full costuming in the hotel room.
Yeah.
Then they had to go onto the streets of Vegas.
Yeah.
So he literally had to walk through the casino in full costume and makeup
to get. Put him under a fucking sheet. Yeah, that's gonna fucking make him more inconspicuous.
Right. So he joyously recalled the looks and the attention that it got with that character.
That's a little Elm Street ripoff.
A little bit,
me,
a little too much. Like, can you imagine just being Granny at the slot machine?
Right.
And here comes this. Not that, but
just been rolling through doing pranks and shit, scaring folks.
I do like the idea that nobody would know how to kill a leprechaun.
Sure, yeah.
And the not smart guy is the one who's putting it together.
Right.
Like, I think this is great. Those denim jackets with the fur-lined collar, those were so popular.
Oh, yeah.
See, like this.
It looks even more like Kevin Bacon with it on.
Doesn't this feel like a set right now? This doesn't feel like this doesn't feel like the same house.
It might be more how they're lighting it that makes it look a little fakey.
Oh, you mean like the green light of the well for no reason? Like, I really question, like, is this a reproduction of the house, like, on a soundstage? But you're right, I do think the lighting has something to do with it.
Yeah.
Because, like, the wind is blowing in the trees back there, and...
Yeah.
It feels... I don't know.
It feels maybe just a bit overlit.
Throw the shoes. That's so good. That is great. What a wonderful human being. This is hilarious. Come on.
It is kind of stupid.
I don't know what this paint is on the inside of the house either. where's she off to?
She's going to the old folks' home to find out how to kill it.
Oh, okay.
The old Grady.
Oh, the roller skates. God damn it, I love a roller skate. Amazing. Hilarious. I know it's so Looney Tunes, but it's fine.
Yeah,
I don't care. Is it the lighting or... Like, why were his pants a different color? They were red previously, and they were purple in that scene.
Don't know.
It was more of a rhetorical question.
Sure.
I didn't expect you to have an answer. There's just a pad with room numbers.
Sure, whatever.
Slap a sign on the door. My old favorite. Nothing is waking up this cop.
No.
Ah, Daniel O'Grady. So stupid. Like, it's so bad it's good. I don't like the angle of that camera. Like, I guess it's trying to be ominous or something.
He's trying to do something with the scene.
But, if you think about it, why would this be ominous or scary in any way?
Right.
Like, O'Grady isn't bad, and they're going to find a solution to the problem.
Right, it's playing it more towards what the filmmakers know is coming, not what the audience is expecting is coming.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Halloween 2 here. There's literally nobody.
Right.
Nobody around. And this weird, like, tilt of the camera. I don't...
Yeah.
Again, there really should be no reason that this is...
Playing off kilter.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a bad wig.
Yeah. I could tell right away that
Right.
the gag was. How he got there first, he was able to kill the guy and stuff him in the freaking elevator here in a moment. I don't know
Well,
how
he
that
can
happened.
kind of teleport around.
Yeah.
He's hundreds of years old. There's a bit of an origin story at the beginning of the second one.
Yeah.
Don't watch it. I beg of
I
you.
have no desire for it.
Well, I do think you should watch 3 because it's so much fun. I'll report back on Hood. Oh, you don't have that one in your set. Never mind.
No, it's not.
I'm so entertained. I know it's stupid. You're right. The staging in the elevator is a little weird.
Yeah.
It's very Michael Myers and Jason.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about Freddy. He never really staged his crime scenes.
Well, once you're dead, you're dead. He doesn't
Right.
care. He's got his power.
Right. It's more about the setup than it is the afterthought.
Yeah. She's doing a very good job in the film, I'll tell you.
Well, yeah, I mean, you may not... I don't think anybody could foresee her,
Where she was going
her
from here,
superstardom.
Yeah.
But I do think that you can say that whatever it is, she has it.
Yeah.
And there aren't a lot of people that are like that.
Yeah.
He's still in the wheelchair. Love it.
Tell me that's not fucking spray painted to death there.
Well, no, that's
the clover
just
patch.
that. Oh, right.
The clover patch.
The clover patch, right.
You definitely took.
Well, no, it's not. It's a light. See the green light? Like,
it's just not convincing. Is all I'm saying. It's way too overly saturated.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not even paint. It would have been better if it was paint. They literally just shown a light. Like, there's no reason that she
That's
should be
even less creative.
That's a Trimark budget right there.
Yeah, but $1 million. These days, it's probably like a $2.5 million.
Yeah, give or take. That's correct. Because if 30,000 is 72,000, then $1 million is like 2.4.
Roughly, yeah.
Dude, you know what you and I could do with $2.4 million?
Sure.
It's better than this. Well, maybe not. Because I'd blow $1 million on just to have Warwick Davis in it. I don't know what his going rate is. I don't have to call his agent. Don't you think the fact that he's just sitting there is a red flag?
Yeah.
Maybe something is wrong? Ow. So, one of the thing I was going to complain about an hour ago is the fact that if he can, like, wave his hand and things can appear, or he can move things around, or he can teleport, or whatever.
Very undefined set of powers.
Right.
It just does whatever the plot needs it to do.
So why is it that he can't wave his hand and there's his gold?
Right.
Like, that is a problem in all movies of this franchise.
Sure.
So
I kept thinking, it's like, sure, if the gold is that much of a thing to him, you'd think there'd be some kind of tether to the whole thing. You'd be able to be drawn towards wherever the hell it is. So just like, I don't know where it is. It's just somewhere. But it's the source of his power and stuff like that. It's all a little flaky.
But I do like that the workaround for I can't just magically, conjure up the gold is that it's in the fat guy's belly.
Right.
So you're right. The green light on the clover patch.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I am scared to death of that bear trap gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely terrified of that thing.
Yeah.
It's so, like, archaic and
medieval-esque.
Right, yeah. Like, there's your pitchfork there, just stuck in the... Like, they're not even trying. Like, let's just shine the light. If it beats down on everybody and makes them green too, who cares? Nobody gives a shit except Frazier. He's only 13 at the time. But that's how it works, lady.
Yeah. For the record, I never found a 4-leaf.
One time I have. one time. It might have been around the time of this movie, actually. I was fairly young. My dad also had one that he had pinned to his golf hat.
Okay.
For luck, clearly. Clearly. But yeah, I did find one time. And nobody, it was one of those like, oh, I found one. They're like, no, you didn't. And I'm like, no, I did. And they're like, oh, shit, you actually did. So, the bear trap is the scariest thing of this whole movie.
Especially if it closes in over your skull.
Right. And the kid's got longer hair. I know what that's about.
That's not scary. I like it when the voice goes more grisly on that regard.
Yeah. That's a stunt.
They should have played with that more with the voice in a way, instead of just always being the kind of high-pitched sort of sing-songy.
I like high-pitched sing-songy.
Okay.
In 3, he pretty much only speaks in rhyme, which is, it's brilliant. It's so good. This is it, right here. Fuck you, Lucky Charms is a great, great line. Yeah. And the screenwriter in the little interview thing was talking about how, he knew that was like the line of the movie. And I'd just like to underscore how
look at that.
It's so good. How, had he not found the box of Lucky Charms earlier, it would be that much more effective.
Yeah, and it wasn't even Lucky Charms, it was Lucky Clovers, because obviously they're not going to look to get the fucking license to do that. So it so kind of cheapens the gimmick when it's not even the real thing.
Right. So fuck you, Lucky Charms is a great, great line.
Yeah.
But I would argue the next best line of the entire movie was him right there just now saying, I did a smart thing. Like, if that doesn't tear your heart a little bit. He's really like, Ozzie Francis is the hero of this movie.
Sure.
And God, it's so good.
Because with a character like that, there's such an easy tipping point where you get to the point where he's obnoxious, he's too much, he's irritating, or it's not played the right way. But he maintains a very sweet, endearing charm to it. It never gets grating to a certain degree.
I agree. That would not have happened with a little bit of gasoline, but okay.
No, it's not going to explode. Where you got that laced with gunpowder?
Hell of a blow, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked good.
If you're going to blow it up, then go ahead and blow it up real good.
What is that white tree?
Yeah,
that's weird. Big old crane shot to show you, hey, Frazier, you're an idiot. It's not a set. I think this is some kind of rhyme. We have the volume down, so. Yeah. I don't know. I realize that it's not good, but damn it, I think it's so much fun.
Like I said, I think all the main cast is very well done. I just feel like the failing is the screenwriting. It just doesn't. It's not funny enough because it's all just lowbrow, cheap humor, and they're not playing up an atmosphere of enough tension and terror to really maintain a scariness about it for me.
Yeah, I guess. I kind of don't care.
Okay, it's fine.
yeah, it works for me.
Right.
I guess I'm able to suspend that disbelief of, I don't know, it goes both ways. Like, I guess it's entertaining to me.
Okay.
And, you know, kind of the, whatever genre it happens to be in the moment,
Sure.
as long as it's entertaining and the entertainment is consistent. There's Tony Cox.
Yeah.
Right under Deep Roy.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, how did I miss that name? Jeez, he was legendary. There's Billy Bob Jackson. Got
Well, all right.
freaking Hector Gallardo.
There is
Hank Boomert.
there's a very much a lacking quantity of Irishmen on this film.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's so much fun.
Didn't make a single silver shamrock joke.
Ooh, you're right. Nor did I use the Irish brogue, nor did I... Yeah, I tried to behave a little bit. But that's fine. That's fine. So, yeah, I'm interested to see if anybody wants to weigh in on
Big
the...
Sky Ranch, that's where they filmed everything.
All right. If anyone wants to weigh in on the Whose Career Would You Want game, which I love.
Hold an extremely long time.
Yeah.
Dan Quayle gets a special thing because I guess Warwick Davis needed to get his visa expedited so they could get him on the film. So he helped out.
Really? Dan Quayle, who famously misspelled potato.
That's what I was wondering which one it was.
Yeah, it was him.
With the E at the end, did he put it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Yep, that's him.
scholar.
Oh boy, Dan Quayle.
Haven't heard from him in 30 years.
Is he still alive?
Beats me. You think you would have heard about a VP dying.
Probably. I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, watch Leprechaun 3. Everyone, please. Even if you just send me a tweet at Elgin Film Guy and say, hey, thanks, I loved it, or no, you're an idiot. I don't care. Love it. And happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thanks for joining us. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.